pasa, mi amigos? Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I feel like my voice is going to be very echoed in here, especially when the garage door is closed, but today we have a pretty dope video. I'm going to teach you guys how to paint like a professional with just rattle cans. Alright, so what we got here is a makeshift hood. I built this when I was going to UTI back in like 2015. This used to be a straight piece of metal, and I copied it, or like I replicated my 5th gen Prelude hood, where I was gonna do some custom headlight, angry eye type things. But today, I'm gonna be teaching you how to do a marbleizing effect. In the middle of this hood, we're gonna sand it down, we're gonna repaint it white, and we're gonna do a marbleizing effect with a blue pearl. We're gonna probably keep the carbon fiber look, so I'm gonna teach you guys how to mask these lines off. And if you guys see very closely, it's hard to tell, but my line is pretty jagged. This was done 5 years ago when I was just learning how to do all this stuff. You can kind of tell right here, a little jagged right there. And it's dirty, but that's part of the cleaning process. I'm gonna teach you step by step on how to get this painted, make it look professional with rattle cans. Safety first, gloves and respirator. Tools you would need for the job. Cleaning solution, towel of some sort. Don't laugh at me, I'm using electrical tape, but I will be using fine line. Also, I'll teach you guys what that is. Sandpaper, something to mask off the areas. You want a sanding pad. This is definitely not the best thing to use, but I'm showing you guys how to use literally anything. So there will be a list of all the things you can use that are similar to what I'm using. And here's the custom pearl that we'll be using. Lazula Blue. And I'll show you guys how to do this. Step number 1, clean your panel. You can go down to the auto parts store and buy wax and grease remover, glass cleaner, you can use soapy water, but what I'm using is just a 50-50% of alcohol and water. The reason to clean your panel is you do not want to sand all this dirt into your clear coat or whatever surface you're painting. Might cause reactions or stuff later on. Let's take a look at this. Painted 5 years ago. I don't even remember what I did, but this is a carbon fiber look with like a gold pearl in it. Honda for life. Step number 2, sand your panel. We're gonna be using a 600 grit followed by an 800 grit to get that smooth finish. Back when I painted this, I did like a paint drip effect with all these dots right here. And what you're seeing is the darker little circle around the brown circle is lower than the brown circle. So what I'm fighting right now is I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible, but I don't really want to burn through. So right now we're just going over very lightly, trying to get all that knocked down, and then we'll go to the middle. You want to see how it's shiny in the middle? I haven't scuffed the little groove yet, but you're looking to get all the shininess gone. Now that we got most of the imperfections out, we're switching to the 800 grit sandpaper. The best way to do this is with a Scotch pad or a Scotch Brite on the back side. But if you have some shop towels or paper towels, just fold them up into, a decent looking pad type thing. And all this does is help it lessen the finger marks. The reason I say Scotch Brite works the best is because usually it sticks to the back of the sandpaper. But this channel is going to be all about budget. So I teach you guys how to do professional stuff with random stuff at home. good way to double check is if you're ready for your next step is wiping it down just with a dry towel. It's gonna pick up some of the dirt and it's gonna show you some shiny spots. You see these edges are not scuffed yet very well. I'm gonna get that with some 800 grit. All right, so I got it sanded down. We're gonna wipe it down and clean it with the same 50-50 water alcohol solution. And then we're gonna get to masking and painting. All right, so we got our fine line. I highly recommend using something like this. You could probably get it at your auto parts store. When laying lines for two-tone or custom paint or anything like this, fine line is key, very, very key. It's not even straight. Shit's old. I don't even know how well it's gonna work, but we're gonna hope for the best, right? All right, so as you can see, we have our line laid down. So what I did like 5 years ago, I'm not really sure, but I made the line straight. Obviously it wasn't straight before. I had to remake the line. So if you see like really closely, I had to remake the line so that it's straight all around. This side was pretty decent. Looks like this is probably the side I started on. I had to get it very close to that right there. And follow the line up. I think it's gonna look a lot better. Next, you wanna get another roll of tape. Unfortunately, I have to use electrical tape because I'm all about working with what you have. And I ran out of masking paper doing a job this weekend. Masking tape, and I'm actually gonna show you a picture right up there somewhere of what I did. So like with something as sticky as electrical tape, I would kinda probably suggest like tapping it on your shirt a couple times to get it less sticky so that you have an easier time pulling it off and it doesn't pull off your existing paint. Friendly tip, always use a fresh razor blade. You wanna make sure that your tape never overlapped. You could tell right here, it got very close, but the line is still in front. So I had to, squeeze it a little bit, do a little touchy. And you wanna go down, you can see right here that it lifted. You don't want to paint that. And the last thing I'm gonna do is just tape the plastic down so it's not flying around. Your next step would be use a tack rag right before you paint. Unfortunately, I don't have one. If this was going on a car, I would probably go and buy one, but it's just a piece of metal that I'm using to teach you guys. So like I said, safety first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray spray another coat of white on top, and then I'm gonna lay down a piece of plastic over it, like how I learned, and see if that gives me the result that I want it to. Let's go. Video, damn, it's stinky in here, but that's pretty much what you want. Well, my phone decided to die, but this is pretty much what you're looking for when it comes to your last and final coat, laying down one even piece of plastic and peeling it up. You might have to touch up a few spots but here and there, but this is the effect you're looking for. All right, next up, once everything's dry, peel off all the masking and the tape, and then your clear coat over the whole thing. All right, so what happened was the tape didn't stick in one spot. Imperfection gone. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Alright guys, we're going for probably 4 to 5 coats on this. Sparkly. Yo, what's going on guys? Back on the camera now. It's been about an hour since I sprayed the clear, the last coat. I got 5 coats on. We're gonna pull it outside just to see how it looks. And then we're gonna let it dry for just a couple days until the weekend. Be sanding it down to polish it. Don't worry about all this grainy stuff. That's because the marbleizing and the pearl that's sitting under the clear. But we're gonna be able to polish all that out.
If you would like to see part 2 of this video, please subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any future videos.
This shit came out clean.